What is up, my fellow gamers? In today's video, we got our breeding guide, how to go ahead and make additional characters in Elder Scrolls Castles. Look us up for more amazing gaming content. Once you reach Dynasty level 13, then you will go ahead and unlock the bed. Dynasty levels is pretty much your account levels. You just need to gain XP. You can gain XP a bunch of different ways. Mostly as a new player, just going to be completing the tasks. Just go through, do all these, gain the XP, reach level 13. Then you're going to get this bed station. It's going to look like this. And you're going to be able to go ahead and put two characters in here. And what they're going to do is they're going to make a baby. The baby is then going to have traits. Now, this is very important that you are trying to constantly make as many new characters as possible with this method, because as your castle expands and you have more stations and you have new features unlocked, you're going to need more workers. You're going to just need more people in general. And also, once you get to mid to end game, you want to have characters in your castle that have the best traits. And you really want to get rid of the characters that have those traits that just kind of cause trouble and chaos. Now, important to note that couples can only reproduce every 24 hours. So if I go ahead and I pick two characters and they make a baby, if I try and go ahead and put them in there again, nothing will happen. So that is important to kind of keep track of, because I made the mistake once of just putting two characters in, they made a baby, and then later on in the day I was playing again. I completely forgot who I put in there, and I put them in there again and nothing happened. And I was sitting here like, wait, why aren't they doing anything? And I was like, oh, that's right, I used the same two characters. That's one thing that you have to kind of keep track of. As far as I know, the game doesn't really show you an indication of like, hey, these characters already made a baby for the day. Now, when you do go ahead and you have one of these babies, it's going to take them 16 years before they become adult. At 16 in this game, that is considered an adult. And the way this game works is each day in game is equivalent to 1 year. So you're going to have to wait and play 16 in-game days before these babies become adults, and then you can start assigning them to stations and then reproducing with them, so on and so forth. Breeding in general is kind of RNG, but you can kind of try to increase your odds by putting certain characters together. That's what the main idea behind this is. You want to just try and increase your odds so that it's in your favor. Pairing two characters together that have the same trait will yield a higher chance that the baby will have that trait in general. So if we go ahead and we put someone who has a tribal, and then we put another person who has a tribal trait, the baby has a higher chance that they will get that tribal trait. It's not guaranteed though. If you're wondering what the best traits are, check out my video I did yesterday where I went over all the best and worst traits. I'll have a link to that down below in the description box and the comment section. Now, one really cool thing you can do right now is the fact that the game just gave us yesterday our pre-registration rewards. If you go into your mailbox, and I believe it's in your mail, we had a character given to us for free. It was a legendary character for pre-registering. The character is going to look like this. So it's going to be Ulfric Stormcloak. He's going to come completely kitted out, clothes already. He comes with this really awesome weapon axe, and he has some amazing traits. He's enduring, mighty, tribal, leader, and reckless. Pretty much all of the best traits you want on a character. So my personal suggestion, and this is what I've been doing, is I've been using him to breed with the other characters to constantly try and make better offspring. So I know one person mentioned in the comments they made this guy their leader, and then he ended up getting assassinated. That sucks. So that's one thing that you got to be careful with, is you do have those legendary characters. You make them a ruler, their chance to be assassinated, you know, if they get assassinated, you just lost a legendary character. So I'm a little bit iffy about having them as a ruler, so I just been having him as a regular character and going ahead and breeding. And the one that I've been using with him is another character that is a leader. So between those two, the babies that I was actually able to make was this one right here. So we got this, and if we take a look, the parents are these two. And he got Mighty, Tribal, Leader, and Perceptive. So this is an amazing character that we made by just utilizing that pre-registration legendary character we got for free. The other thing to keep in mind is the character's rarities. If you go ahead and you pair two characters that are low rarities, you're really just gonna have another low rarity character. You want to constantly be trying to pair up characters that have that higher rarity. So using that legendary with someone who's like an epic or something is going to have a higher chance to yield a epic or legendary. So try and keep those high rarity characters together with those best traits. The other thing is characters have to be between the age of 16 and 64. If they're not between those ages, they will not reproduce and they're just gonna sit at the bed and do nothing. Other thing to keep in mind is you can breed two characters of the same gender. Yeah, so 2 boys, 2 girls, whatever you wanna do to make the best character possible. And the other thing to also be careful about is if you do go ahead and have 2 characters make a baby, be careful pairing one of them up with a different character. Because then you can kind of get into one character will become jealous and then they'll start causing trouble in your castle. So try and keep like the same 2 lovers together if you can. So like if you click on here and it shows you, it'll say lover, try and keep them 2 together, constantly making babies. Otherwise, if you're starting to have them make babies with all the other characters, you can have some trouble in your castle. You also don't need to have the characters get married either to make babies. So just keep that in mind. You don't have to have them married. I'm not quite sure if this really helps in breeding, whether they're married or not, if it gives a boost to like the percentage chances to have better traits. But either way, whether your characters are married or not, they can reproduce. As far as your population goes, you're gonna see in the bottom right where this little mask is right now, it says 29. Currently have 29 people in my castle. The population limit is 200. Once you reach that limit, you will not be able to go ahead and have characters reproduce. So if you have 2 people at the bed with 200 population, they're just gonna sit there, they're not gonna reproduce, they're not gonna do anything. You're gonna have to drop it down to 199. However, once you do have that 200 population threshold, you can still add characters, but it's gotta be through packs, like through the shop and stuff, buying stuff. So if you do reach that limit of 200, just go ahead and banish characters that have bad traits. The way to banish them, I mentioned it in the video yesterday, just go ahead, grab them, and just basically take them to the edge and throw them over here, and it will exile them. You'll see rulers cannot exile themselves, but if I grab like somebody else and we throw them over here, you can go ahead, banish them. So just do that for the characters that have like the bad traits and stuff. That is it. I hope you guys and girls enjoyed the video. Stay happy, stay safe. I'll see y'all later. Peace.